Welcome, everybody, to another episode here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta. Thank you so much for joining us for this Monday night matchup here. And we got ourselves a good one. It is going to be the Detroit Lions against the undefeated Seattle Seahawks. Please let me know how excited you are. Who do you have in this matchup? Do you have Detroit coming out on top? Or do you have the Seattle Seahawks just continuing to roll and going to 4-0 on the season? I mean, the way I look at it, obviously Seattle, I would say this, they haven't faced the toughest competition in their part of the schedule here, but they have looked balanced. I think Geno Smith has been one of the most consistent throwers of the ball. He's had a 300 yard game. He had last week, he had 289, I believe. So he's been throwing the ball pretty well, getting some yardage. And if you look around the league, that has not been the case consistently. So a guy that is throwing the ball really well. He does have some turnovers. Let me grab my sheet here to look at what he has. So through 3 games, he has 3 interceptions. So not taking care of the ball as well as he probably should. But once again, 3-0, can't argue with the results thus far. And on top of that, so I would say Detroit is going to be by far the best team that they have faced in this early season. It's only week 4, but Detroit, they look like a team that is in flux. They're dealing with some injuries, especially on that defensive side. But they are a team that, at this point, I feel they're one of the few teams that knows their identity. It's an identity that is very similar to what it was last year, in that they're going to do anything and everything, even unconventional. They're going to do everything they can to keep the ball, win possession of the ball for as long as they can, going for it on fourth down. Fake punts, fake kicks, things like that. And the kickoff is up, and it's going to be returned in the zone. And Detroit will start with the ball at about the 27-yard line. But going back to what the identity of the Lions is, they're a team that is not afraid to throw the ball deep. They don't tend to they tend not to use a whole lot of the flat routes. Obviously every team does that, but they tend to really like to throw the ball deep, right up the middle, which has gotten Jared Goff a little. He's gotten some interceptions in this season, but they are a tough team. They know what they like. They're gonna do it no matter what. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, some people argue Dan Campbell needs to relax with some of these plays that they're just going for. Just take the points, things like that. But they're consistent, man, and you don't always get that with teams. As we've seen thus far this season, there some teams are up and down. Sometimes they're winning by 30. Sometimes they lose by 15 the next week. First play only got a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 9. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle in shotgun, and it's going to gain about 3 yards on the play. So very quickly tonight, what we're going to want to see is how this Seattle defense is going to basically match up with a very versatile Lions offense. They got 2 running backs back there in Detroit that can take over a game if they need to. 3rd and 6, tight end motioning out, and he is coming back into the frame of the offensive line. Shotgun, 2 receivers to the right. Goff scanning the field, pumping. He's got to move, and they're going to bring him down in the backfield, and that is number 90, Reed. And on 3rd down, Seattle's defense gets to Jared Goff for a big sack. It's going to be a loss of 14 on the play. Obviously, Goff is not a mobile, not a really ultra mobile quarterback. So once they kind of pin him down, keep him inside the structure of the pocket, he's kind of a little bit of a sitting duck if he cannot get the ball out. He should have just thrown it away. He had time, but and the punt is away, and it's going to be returned by Seattle here. It was picked up just ahead of the 30, and he is down at about the 40-yard line, 41 maybe. But there is a flag on the field. So we have our first flag already in the game, and we're not even 5 plays in. Let me turn this TV down before it gets potentially copyright claimed. And it was a holding call on Seattle, so unfortunately that good field position, which would have been just ahead of the 40-yard line. Is that holding? Really? It's just a good block to me, but all right. So unfortunately that will move them back all the way down at the 23. All right. Seattle starts out in 4 wide receivers on the field, shotgun. Hutchinson getting in there, and it's going to be a phenomenal catch if that is the case. Great throw by Geno down down the left sideline there to DK, and DK just, God, dude, I keep on forgetting how just massive that dude is as a human being. So that is good for 20 yards. Got the toes inbounds. Ball at the 43, 1st and 10. 3 receivers to the right. Geno in shotgun, tight end, tight to the line. But they're moving things around. Looks like DK is motioning over to the right. Looks like we got a splits, and it gets the ball out very quickly. Has to. There's pressure, and it's going to be a back shoulder throw, but it's not going to be able to be caught by DK Metcalf on that one. Oh my God, dude! Showing that replay of DK's catch, incredible. And we have 2nd and 10, ball at the 43. It's going to be a toss to the running back. It's going to make a move in the backfield, but it's not going to help out. And he is going to be down about 2 yards short of the line of scrimmage. Detroit had that one really, really closed up. Just a great job by the linebackers, not getting stuck behind the line, the offensive line there, and just doing a great job of pursuing and bringing the ball carrier down there. So 3rd and 2, ball at the 41. 3 receivers to the left, gets the ball out to DK in the middle, and he's going to be about 4 or 5 yards short of the first down. It's going to be just short of the 50. So it'll be 4th down for Seattle. Let's see what they do here. Well, they look like they thought about going for it, but they're going to send out the punter here. ESPN's analytics little toggle on the side here said 4th and 5, go for it. Yeah. All right. So Jared Goff will be taking the field again, and we are going to go to a commercial timeout here. So if you're just joining us, once again, this channel, we're doing every live game that we possibly can. We're doing Packer games. We're doing every primetime game. And if you like what you see here or you want to continue, please support the channel. just make sure you subscribe, leave a like on this video. It does help out. Get into the eyes a little bit more in terms of the outreach and getting more people to hopefully click on some of these videos. And then heading into this next month, we will be adding some more non-live content, some more traditional, edited videos, things like that. Something short, something sweet, um, but it's still going to be very football related. So hopefully we can get that going here and hope you enjoy it. So while we're on commercial break here, we will look at some stats here for this game. All right, looks like we are back here. First play is a handoff, and up the middle does a great job of getting past one man, and it's going to be a nice 11-yard gain by the former Chicago Bear Montgomery, and that'll be a Lions first down. It's going to be another handoff, this time to the left. Montgomery is going to get about 4 yards on the play. And the clock is at 9:44, 43, 9:42, 9:41, 9:40, 9:39, 9:38. If you want to sync this game up. And unfortunately, we are streaming this on Hulu here, so there's going to be a little bit of a delay if you are watching this on your local broadcast. All right, Lions in the eye, fakes the handoff. Jared Goff barely gets away from a sack there, gets it to his man. That's going to be the former Alabama Crimson Tide, number 222. Anyway, it was Williams, Jameson Williams. Yeah, Jared Goff just doing a nice job getting out of that sack there. It's going to be a 5 wide empty set. Takes a snap, scan in the field, pockets stand good, and he gets it out to St. Brown for a relatively minimal gain, maybe a gain of 3 or 4 on the play. And 2nd and 6, Goff under center, fakes the handoff. It looks like he's going to throw it way deep down the field, and he does. He gets it past the 50-yard line to St. Brown. Should be marked off at about the 47, 46-yard line. That was some tight coverage there by the Seahawks. Just a nice little high-low concept. Jameson Williams basically running a slant go, and then Brown just comes in underneath with a nice little, guess you could call it an in route, but it was very short. It wasn't really going across the field. And they are in under center, hands it off, and it's going to be good for about 6 or 7 yards for David Montgomery there. Just a great job right to the left side of the line. Great pulling by the center and guard, and just open up a nice gap there right behind where the center was to his right. Goff under center. The ball is at the 40-yard line. It is a 1st and 10. St. Brown in motion. They hand it off to Montgomery, who breaks it out past the edge there of the offensive line. And it's going to get big yardage, and it'll be a first down for the Lions. And sorry, that previous play was not a first down. Just unfortunately, the ESPN graphics were showing first down. It was actually a second down play. And now that it is 1st and 10, ball at the 27. Goff under center, fakes the handoff, rolling to his right, gets it to his tight end. It's going to be down at about the 25-yard line, gain of about 2 on the play. Seattle doing a great job of crashing down there on the flat. Second and 7. Ball just inside the 25. Handed off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who just speeds right through everybody up the middle. And he's not going to be taken down until he is inside the 5-yard line. Holy cow, man. Jahmyr Gibbs, man. That guy is just so fast. Yeah, he ran just to the left of the center and then just put the burners on. And there was like nobody in the center of the field. Everybody seemed like all the linebackers were kind of split out to the boundaries, and that just left a gaping hole. And it's going to be 1st and goal inside the 5. Goff under center, 2 tight ends set. One of the tight ends in motion to the left, handed off to David Montgomery, who is going to be unable to move the pile, but he's going to get about a yard on the play. Should be 2nd and goal at around the 4-yard line. Goff under center, tight end in motion. Similar play to the last one. This time it's running up to the right in between the center and guard, and it's going to get a little bit more yardage, but not all the way into the end zone. Should be somewhere around the 1, maybe inside the 1. I mean, knowing Detroit, I would not be surprised if they just decided to run it right up the middle again, but something tells me they're going to do a little something different here. Tight end in motion. No, it's going to be a handoff, and Montgomery is going to be able to just fight off a defender and get that ball into the end zone. Nice little reach there, extending his arm, getting the ball just across the line, and that is going to be a Detroit touchdown here. See if he kept his knees up. He did. Extended, dove for that ball. Dove for the line there. and got that ball across. Yeah, Chicago made a huge mistake of letting that guy go, man. He has just been phenomenal for Detroit ever since he got here. And the extra point is, it's going to be close, and it's going to be just inside the right upright. That bad boy was sailing hard, but it is good. And with 3:11 in the first quarter, Detroit is up 7-0 here. That was a huge drive. That was a 90 plus drive there for Detroit, taking about 7 minutes off the clock. So while we have a little bit of time here, let's look at some of the offensive stats that both of these teams have put up over the last 3 weeks of the season, or through the first 3 weeks of the season. So Detroit, they put up about, so in week one, they had 217 in terms of passing yards. Then they had a nice big week in week two with a loss, unfortunately, 324 for Jared Goff. And then last week, just under 200 yards at 199. So Detroit putting up some decent yardage. Obviously, they're relying definitely more on that running game, who has put up some massive, massive yards over the last 3 weeks here. In week one, they had 163 rushing yards. Week two, 139, and then last week, a buck 87. So consistently putting up some big rushing yards. And it's no surprise they have two, in my opinion, two of the best backs in the NFL. Very different guys. Jameer Gibbs is a big speed guy. He's going to be able to juke you, make you miss, but also a very violent runner. Like in terms of not physical necessarily. He can be a physical runner for sure, but what I'm talking about is more of like the Isaiah Pacheco. As he is running, he just looks. There's just so much movement in Jameer, just naturally the way he runs. And then obviously with David Montgomery, he's the almost a bell cow. He's just the we're gonna give it to him up the middle, and he's gonna smash his face into anything that is an opposing player. And we saw that in week one on that overtime drive where they just ran that dude all the way up the field for a touchdown against the Rams. So, two big backs. They obviously have one of the best wide receivers in the NFL in St. Brown. Jameson Williams is approaching that that echelon, of top receivers, but you can tell that he's still limited in some of the things that he does. But when that guy gets going, man, he's just so explosive. There's a reason why he was drafted so high, even though he had an injury coming out of college that was going to be taking a few months to really get going. So the kickoff is going to go into the end zone. It'll be back at the back of the end zone. So Seattle will start at their 30 here. We have a receiver in motion, two receivers on each side, shotgun. Charbonnet splits out wide. They get the ball out to their slot receiver for a nice little bubble screen. That is Jackson, Smith, and Jigba for a gain of about 3 on the play, potentially. And Seattle kind of running a little bit of a hurry up offense here, not huddling up. Geno is changing things around. Two receivers to the left, a tight end and a wide out to the right. In the shotgun, running back to the left. Pressure by Detroit, and he has to get the ball out quickly, and it's going to be a little bit of contact there from the corner and the wideout, but it's going to fall incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8 here. Oh yeah, there was definitely some Some pulling, some jersey grab from the young rookie Arnold, the corner. 3rd and 8, 3 receiver bunch to the left. Shotgun gets the ball out quickly, and it's going to be, I believe that's in Jigbo, who's going to be able to get away from a tackler long enough to get the ball across the line to gain. And replay shows yes. First down, ball at about the 41. Shotgun. Geno throws it up the middle to his tight end, who's going to get out across the 50. That is a first down. That is actually not a tight end. That is Jake Bobo, who I believe, I'm pretty sure, is a wideout. It's just a big one. Great job by Geno staying in that pocket just as he threw that bucket, just collapsed on him, but able to deliver a good ball up the middle in between two linebackers to get a first down. The ball is at the 48, 1st and 10. Seattle in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right, running back in the backfield to the right as well. They leave Hutchinson completely unblocked, but Geno is able to get the ball out quickly to DK. And if it stands, it's going to be about an 8-yard gain. But there is a flag on the field. From what I can tell, one of the refs is pointing towards the Seattle defensive side. It looks like there's going to be 2 penalties on the play. And it's going to be potentially ineligible man downfield for Detroit, and then pass interference for Seattle. So these will offset, and they will redo the down. 1:09 on the clock here in the first quarter. And this first quarter is kind of flying through, man. This game started at about 7:15, 7:16. It's only it's not even 7:45, and we only have a minute left in this quarter, so game is flying by. And Geno throws it to DK to the left side. He's muscling through, he gets the first down, and then he gets popped. The ball pops out, and Detroit has it, and they're running it, and they get out of bounds. Holy cow. And that is a huge turnover by DK. Unnecessary. I mean, I get it, man. You're trying to make a play, but just get down. And that's actually going to be close. His knee might have been down. Let's see here. When does that? No, that ball's out before his knee hits. So that is going to be a fumble on Seattle. Nice pickup by Detroit here. And they returned it a decent amount. They returned it to about the 15 before he was pushed out of bounds. Yeah, he was holding that thing like a loaf of bread, man. You gotta put 2 hands on that if you're gonna be. He was basically being held by his jersey, and he was just trying to muscle his way out of a tackle, and then a safety, I'm pretty sure, just came in and like a missile and just whacked the DK in the back. Ball just popped out. And first play for Detroit is a run to the right, and it's going to get minimal yardage, maybe only a yard on the play. That was Jahmyr Gibbs on the carry. So this will likely be the last play of the first quarter. And pass to the tight end to the right, and he's going to be close to a first down, and they're going to give him the first down. They're going to be inside the 5 down at about the 4 or 3. And that ladies and gentlemen, is the first quarter here in Detroit with the score: the Seattle Seahawks 0, the 2-1 Detroit Lions 7. Alrighty. All right, we got some people in the chat here. Let's go. What's going on? Sea Storm, Adam, Neville. What's going on, brother? How you guys doing tonight? Sorry, I was a little bit focused on the game here. Sorry about the chat. Seastrom, what's going on, brother? Hope you guys are having a good night. Yeah, that fumble was crazy. I was not expecting that. I thought DK was almost going to break away there, but yeah, man, it would help out the at least my Packers. It would help them out if Detroit loses here. That'd be very nice. Have you guys been watching the Tennessee Miami game at all? I have it here on the other screen. It does not seem as interesting as this game so far. Well, I'm a Packer fan, and Seastrom, you're a Cowboys fan, from what I remember, right, my brother? All right. It's going to be first and goal, ball at the 3-yard line, tight end in motion in the backfield. They hand it off to Jameer, who is just going to basically just waltz right in to the end zone. That was as smooth as butter right there. Woo! All right, we got ourselves something closing in here on a blowout. I mean, it's only 14 points, but no, for sure, for sure. I feel like most fans are pretty chill human beings. Sean Paul, what's going on, dude? What's happening? Glad you could jump in here. Yeah, I believe Cowboy fans, they do get a bad rap. I think it's mostly the team that kind of annoys people more than the fans. No, for sure, for sure. They have a great history. I like their stuff. All right, right on, right on. Got to get the studying done before we can have our fun, man. Get the priorities done, and then after that, Yeah, when's the last time they made it to the NFC Championship game? Was it 90 was it 95? So I'm pretty sure the Packers made it to 96. I wouldn't worry about the Packers, man. It was a tough loss. They did not look good at all up until that obviously that muff punt. But I mean, I feel like Jordan Love got some of the rust off real quickly. So I'm pretty sure the next couple weeks we're going to see this offense really get going a lot more than what they have so far this season. All right. Yes, it was the 95-96 season. All right, let's go. Oh, it was against Green Bay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. It's been a while since I since I remember the 90s, man. It's been a while. Oh, absolutely, man. Jair, that secondary did not look good in that first half. They looked very rough. A lot of penalties, a lot of big plays given up. They just looked like they just looked lost. Yeah, who's starting for Miami? Is it still Skylar Thompson or did they insert Tim Boyle? I know who else was Huntley? Wasn't he on the practice squad? Did they elevate him or no? All right, we have a first and 10 for Seattle at the 30. It's going to be a handoff to Walker to the left. He's going to get about 3 yards on the play, maybe four. Oh, it's Huntley. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I think teams are done with Tim Boyle. I think the everybody's just like, okay, but Aaron Rodgers can only say his word can only save you for so long. I think teams after this season are not going to really be putting too much trust in Tim Boyle as a primary backup in this league anymore. And it's going to be a throw to the tight end, and it's going to go right through his hands. Could have had a first down here on second. It'll be 3rd and 7 for Seattle here. They really need to get going here. The way Detroit has been able to just to was that ball tipped? No, tight end just lost sight of it. And Geno drops backs, gets out of the pocket, and it finds a man. It's going to be a big first down. That is to the former Buckeye, Smith and Jigba. It's going to be about a 10-yard gain. That is a first down for Seattle. A little bit of confusion on Detroit's defense there with the three receiver bunch to the right. And Smith just did a nice job just drifting into the open space there for Geno. And DK at the top of the screen drops it in, and he's trying to get it to DK, who will not be able to hold on to the ball. It's going to be an incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10, ball at about the 44-yard line. And Geno gets it out to the flat and is going to gain a minimal amount of yardage, maybe 3 yards there for the tight end. Yeah, and trust me, as a person that saw Mike McCarthy from the first day that they signed him as their head coach, the guy at one point was great in terms of like his ability to scheme up things, but I just feel like the NFL has kind of passed him by, and which happens. It doesn't mean that he was always a bad coach, but I just think that there was a time and a place for him, and that time has come and gone. And Gino just scrambling, trying to save anything on this third down, and he's going to be brought down for maybe at the line of scrimmage. There's also a flag on the play. Most likely, it's going to be holding on the offensive line there because Gino was just scrambling everywhere. Yeah, and that's believe it or not, that's actually one thing that Aaron Rodgers and McCarthy have in common. Maybe that's why they got along so well. But yeah, those throws on third and short, fourth and short, they're just deep down the field. I'm like, dude, just run the ball, man, please. Like if we get stuffed, at least we know. But yeah, throwing it all the way down the field to Jordy Nelson or Devontae Adams and the defense is gonna double those guys. It's like if you can't gain a yard on the ground, then yeah, they're gonna you have bigger problems. And that ball is out of Geno's hands to the left. Gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. Seattle's really picking up the tempo here. 3 receivers to the right. Geno in the shotgun throws it to his running back in the flat there, and Walker does almost a somersault out of a tackle, which was insane. So he's either going to be about a yard short of the first, but there's a flag on the field as well. There's might be a horse collar tackle potentially. Yeah, Walker, like the way he was able to get out of that tackle was just insane. His knees, his elbows never hit the ground, and then he just basically does like like a little somersault over Alonzo for the first down, apparently. So, and it's going to be a handoff to Walker on the right side, and he is going to be stopped after a minimal gain of about 100%, man, 100%. I agree. Too much hate. I think fans almost everywhere kind of get a little too much hate. I think we get a little too rowdy sometimes. But yeah, from what I've always experienced, man, most fans are pretty chill people. And it's going to be an empty set as Walker goes splits out wide. Gino finds DK wide open down the field, and he is going to be very close. And they are saying it is a touchdown for DK Metcalf. DK with just a nice little go fade a little bit, just kind of see what he did here. Just able to create a great amount of separation. Oh, it's just that was actually just a great move at the line. Get enough separation from the corner. Gino hit him in stride, and it looks like DK just on the replay. He's going to be about half a yard shy as his elbow hit the ground. So they're going to be bringing this one back just a little bit, I believe. So it'll be first and goal inside the 1 for Seattle. In the shotgun, they hand it off to Walker, who gets stopped short of the goal line. It's going to be a no gain for the Lions there. That is fair, man. That is fair. Once again, I like the Lions. If the Packers can't make it all the way, it'd be nice to see a different team in the Super Bowl outside of the Chiefs and the 49ers. Oh, man. Already, DK has already had a huge night. So it would have been nice to get that touchdown there. But I think Seattle's going to try to run this one in. But yeah, as a Packer fan, I'm hoping for a Lions loss here just to help us out. And Walker gets stuffed, but he's going to bounce it to the outside, to the right, and he's going to waltz in for a touchdown here for Seattle with 10:08 left on the clock here in the half. Seattle gets on the board for the first time tonight. Detroit actually did a great job. Seattle was trying to get it up the middle here. Walker literally got bounced backwards, but then was able to just find enough room to the right side and just ran it right around the entire defense there. Extra point is up, and it is good. Once again, with 10:08 left in the half, it is Seattle 7, Detroit 4. 14 there. All right, so we got Seastrom who wants to get the Lions here a win. Sean Paul, we got the Hawks. What about you, Adam? Who do you have in this game? Are you rooting for the Lions here, or are you trying to get the Seahawks to 4-0 here? It's okay, man. We're in this game. We're in a hard spot, man. We're either way. It's the lesser of two evils at this point, I believe. Going for the Hawks. All right, yeah. I think if Green Bay would have won here, I would have been okay with Detroit winning. But having a three-way tie at the top of the division. But now we're already a game under with Minnesota here. We got to make sure that Detroit doesn't pull away from us as well. So yeah, and just looking at the stats for Seattle, they've been a team that is throwing the ball significantly more than they're running it. Week 1, it was 50-50. They only threw it for 71, and they ran it for a buck 46. But ever since that game, it's been 46 yards in week 2, and then 100 yards in week 3. While they're passing, they've hit 300 or almost 300 last week. They hit 289. So this Seattle team really likes to throw the ball. I feel like that's their preferred way of bringing that ball all the way down the field. They don't seem very patient. Oh yeah, no, like I said, I'm not too worried about Green Bay. They're going to be there in the mix. It's just going to depend on how if Minnesota can kind of keep this going as well as Detroit. But I know Green Bay, they're going to get their stuff together, and I have no doubt they're going to be one of the best teams in football this season. And actually, you might be right. I think Walker was out for a pair of weeks there, so that might be a big reason why they've been throwing the ball. And Goff trying to get it out, almost gets brought down for a sack, is able to get it away. Tight end makes a move, makes a man miss, and it's going to be a first down, but there is a flag on the field. That pass was to Sam Laporta, the former Iowa Hawkeye there. The Jets and Vikings game, that's the Jets are so up and down. Like one week they look god awful. They've looked like one of the worst teams in both of their losses. But then in their wins, Aaron Rodgers and that offense seem to just click, and then that defense also seems to play like they have the last couple of seasons and look dominant. So that team, I don't know. You never know what you're going to get with that team week to week at this point. But I'm hoping for the Jets. Hopefully, Rodgers can help out the Packers here. One last time potentially, and bring down the Minnesota Vikings. Give them their first loss of the season. Oh no, for sure, man. If you're talking about Kenneth Walker, yeah, that dude is just a huge human being, man. Quick, fast, and he just runs with a lot of power. But he's one of those backs that can just he can do a whole lot. He's not just one way of being able to move the ball. And it'll be 2nd and 8, handoff to Jameer Gibbs, gets off to the left of the formation, and it'll be a first down. He's a little disappointed. He was hoping to get a lot more than that. But right now, man, Detroit, they are just marching this ball down the field. They're going to be inside the 30 at about the 24. Sorry, 26. And it's going to be a nice little screen to Amon Ra. He's not going to be able to get away from the tackler there, and it's going to be a gain of about 4 or 3 on the play. Yeah, I think we're all going to be Jets fans when Minnesota go up against them. So, but yeah, it's really weird, man. Some weeks they look like a team that is in sync with everything, and then when they're playing bad, they play god awful. And handoff to Gibbs up the middle. He's going to get out across the 20, down at about the 19-yard line. It'll be a short third down. Yeah, man, they look strong, man. Their defense, I think, might be their weakest point, but I think it has to do more with the injuries that they've kind of accumulated over the first couple weeks here. And shotgun fakes the handoff, and he gets it out to his tight end in the flat, and Sam Laporta with a big first down. He's going to be somewhere around the 5-yard line for Detroit. Oh yeah, no, we don't like that team from the West there. The on the other side of the Mississippi there, they can. I would love it if they win 0-13 the rest of the way. And it's going to be fakes the handoff, and it's going to be to St. Brown, who was lingering just underneath the coverage, and he's going to be taken down at about the 1 yard line there. So it'll be second and goal from the 1. Absolutely, man. There's only one person that has made purple look good, and that was Prince. All right, Purple Rain. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Prince, that man could wear anything. And it's going to be a handoff. And it looks like Jameer Gibbs is going to get in for the touchdown there. And with 5:11 left, Detroit adds another touchdown as this second quarter is coming to an end here. Oh yeah, nothing against the color purple. All right, that's always one of the best colors in the Crayola box. But we're talking about that specific purple, that Vikings, that skull purple. We don't like that one. We don't like that one. Extra point is good, and it'll be 21-7 here with 5:11 to go in the half. Unfortunately, it is, man. Fortunately, unfortunately. No, for sure. Seattle needs to put up some points here before the half, get some momentum, kind of heading into that latter half of the game. Because right now, man, they have not been able to really stop Detroit. And at the halfway mark with Tennessee and Miami, it is 9-3 Tennessee. Holy cow. Let's look at the box score real quickly here. So, that's why there's a little bit of a Mason Rudolph is playing apparently. I don't know if Will Levis got hurt or if they just finally benched him. Yeah, that game does not look fun. There is a combined 231 passing yards and less than 100 yards rushing. There's been an interception and a lost fumble and only 1 sack. Oh, what? Oh, he did get hurt? Ah, that's unfortunate. Well, hopefully he's alright. Hopefully he is okay. No matter how bad you play, you never wanna see a guy get hurt. Yeah, man, it's always the worst part of the game, seeing some guys go down with some injuries. Takes away from the game, makes it a lot less fun, and alright. Kickoff went into the back of the end zone, so they will start at the 30. It's a fake handoff from under center. Gets it out to Charbonnet for a gain of about 4. Yeah, you gotta give Detroit credit as well, man. They have drafted some phenomenal players over the last couple of years as well. I feel like almost most of the GMs, except for Chicago's, the entire NFC North GMs, and they have done such a significant job of finding some really key players for their teams. I mean, I remember what was it like 5, 6 years ago before, you know, O'Connell and even um, any of these guys really got here. It was just the Packers, and that was basically it. So seeing these teams get better is always fun. And Geno is going to take the snap, and he's going to go down, and that is Rodriguez on the sack there. Nice blitz, completely was free. Nobody was able to get to him. The tackle completely stayed inside for some reason. It looked like he didn't even see him blitzing. It's going to be 2nd and 16. 3 receivers to the right. Charbonnet in the backfield with Geno in the shotgun. And Geno is going to have to use his first timeout of the half. Couldn't get these guys lined up correctly. Yeah, right. We're in a commercial break here. So so far, what do you guys have thought about this game? Do you think Seattle can get it going, or are we just going to see Detroit just kind of pull away here because their defense is starting to pick a little? They're going to start picking up a little bit more momentum. It feels like. I feel like it's too early to tell either way. I just believe from I've only seen the one game, and I think it was against. Trying to remember who it was. It was the Bears and potentially Atlanta that I streamed here, and in that game, Williams was not the problem. He made a couple throws where you could tell he was trying to play hero ball a little bit, but that's with you see that with quarterbacks. You see that with especially with young quarterbacks. They do that all the time. I think it's just the surrounding team that needs to elevate itself. That offensive line is god awful. Let's just say that the Bears have one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. It's not a question. They're bad. Their defense, I think, is missing key players. I think their front seven is solid, but I think their secondary needs an extra draft or two to find some extra talent. Um, I think they're really missing a key running back. I think they made a mistake letting David Montgomery go. I think he would have been great for a young quarterback. And on top of that, I think they have a lot of wide receivers who are kind of new to the system, new to the squad. They kind of overhauled it, and yeah, I think they're. I feel like they're like a year or two away, but hopefully by that time, Caleb Williams is not just ruined for them. So yeah, I think the kid is good. I think he just needs better protection, and I think once that he gets that, I think you're gonna see what he's capable of. I actually do like this past quarterback draft. I think there's a lot of potential. I think it's gonna be better than the last couple of quarterback drafts that we've had. So, and Geno takes the snap, rolling out. He has to throw it away. It'll be 3rd and 16 with 3:12 left in the half. But yeah. But what do you guys think? What do you think of so far of the quarterbacks in the NFC North specifically? We got Williams, we got Darnold. Do you think Darnold can keep this going, or are we just watching, you know, a little bit of just a little bit of a high, but then he's gonna crash down to earth? Gino gets the ball out quickly in the slant, and it's a trick play, and they give it out to Charbonnet, who is all the way on the left side of the formation. And that's gonna be a big first down, gain of about 17 or 18 there. Just a great play. So Smith and Jigba was coming from the right side, running a slant to the left. Gino gets the ball out quickly. The entire defense shifted over to the left to get Njigba down, leaving Charbonnet by himself on the left side to get the first down. All right, shotgun, three receivers to the right. Charbonnet in the flat. They're going to get it out to him, see if he's going to stiff arm a guy and get about 2 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the clock is rolling, and it's going to get to the 2-minute warning here. All right, we got 2 minutes left in the half here. Right now, Seattle has the ball. They have a 2nd and 8, and the ball is currently at the Detroit 43. So they're getting close to field goal range here, and we just hit the 2-minute warning. So obviously, Seattle's trying to try to keep this ball as long as they can, so make sure that Detroit does not get any points here before the half. And if you guys had to pick which specific player has been the biggest surprise for you this season? Absolutely. No, I agree with you. I think, and granted, I could be wrong for sure, but I think we're starting to see a little bit of the Darnold that we've seen the last couple of years. And to give him credit, man, he is. It seems like almost everywhere he's gone, he's always initially played well, but then it's the diminishing returns with Darnold. It's either he goes back to some of the things that kind of got him in trouble in New York and Carolina, or maybe it's just teams are finally able to get a little bit more film with him in this new system and things like that. And Gino throwing it deep here, and it's going to be popped up and nearly intercepted, but it's going to fall incomplete. It's going to be a penalty as well, and they're going to say that's a hold on the tight end, Pharaoh Brown. Oh, it's going to be one of the coolest names, Pharaoh Brown. So that'll move Seattle back out across the 50. So second and 18 ball at the 47. Gino in the shotgun. Pocket is collapsing. Gets the ball off. Dumps it down to his running back. Charbonnet is going to get it to the 45 of Detroit. So that's going to be a nice gain of about 8 yards. Clock is continuing to run. He was tackled inbounds. About 135, 134, 133, 132, 131, if you want to sync it up. And Daniels, we had a discussion with about Daniels in the last yesterday on a couple streams. Man, that guy has just been such a phenomenal player. Great pickup for them. And Gino Dunn gets it out, and he is gonna unfortunately have DK unable to bring it in deep, deep. DK's talking some smack here. But it was a nice throw to the sidelines, to the left side there, and just DK unable to just kind of misjudge the ball there. Oh yeah, yeah. Seastorm. Yeah, it's on offense, my brother. So unfortunately, it's going to be fourth down for Seattle here, and they're going to just punt it away before the half. There's a little over a minute left. Yeah, yeah. O'Connell, he comes out of that that like Shanahan slash Lafleur kind of scheme there, and that scheme seems to be kind of all over the NFL at this point. I think McDaniel he runs it in Miami a little bit. Obviously, they're all kind of variations of it. The Bengals also run a similar system as well. I'm trying to think of who else, but yeah, that type of offense is just kind of just everywhere in the league right now. It's a very popular, you know, a lot of motion before the snap, and then just kind of getting it into the flats, using your wideouts a lot in and getting them to block. You see that in Green Bay a lot as well. Yep, Rams. Yep, absolutely. Sean McVay. Yeah, he's because I mean Lafleur, O'Connell. I feel like all these guys were his assistants at some point in their time with the Rams, or they were with them also with when they were in Washington as well. They were all kind of assistants at that time. Yeah, so that Shanahan tree, man, is just flourishing right now in the NFL. We're in a commercial break here, so we're not missing anything here. What'd you guys think of Joe Flacco just coming in for Anthony Richardson and just lighting it up? The old man just cannot seem to cannot seem to leave, man. He's always needed. When he comes in, he just plays so well. He saved the Browns season last year, and who knows what's going on with Richardson. Hopefully, he's okay. But Joe Flacco might need to play some significant minutes, significant games this season again. And it's going to be a fakes the handoff, trying to find somebody. He's going to dump it down to Gibbs, who is going to get very little yardage. And there is a flag on the field. It's going to be holding on the Lions there. Absolutely, man. They could have kept Flacco, man. I guarantee you, he was willing to take a take a contract there. But man, it seems like every single move the Browns make is just the wrong one. Ever since they traded for Deshaun Watson, it's just been bad decision after bad decision. It'll be 1st and 17, 3 receivers to the right, and a quick bubble screen to the slot receiver, and he's going to get a decent amount of yardage, about half the yardage that they probably needed on that one. So it'll be 2nd and 8, ball at the 17-yard line, and just the way that the Lions are playing right now, they seem like they're gonna try to score here with just a handful of seconds left. And Goff is taken down. Is that a horse collar? I mean, he definitely grabbed the back of that jersey for sure. That's interesting that was not called. Can you actually get a horse collar in the pocket? I think that might be a rule that's not called. But yeah, anyway, back to the Browns. Yeah, they're in free fall at this point. Yeah, that defense looks, even though they have the same guys, they seem to just not be able to get any pressure. Their secondary is god awful right now. Their linebackers are missing tackles left and right, and then that offense just is just non-existent sometimes. It'll be 3rd and 16, and Detroit's just going to hand it off here, and Seattle is going to use their final timeout with just 22 seconds left here. Absolutely, man. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I was expecting a flag right there, but I think the rule is that the horse collar is cannot be called if you're inside the pocket with the quarterback. I'm pretty sure. So that's a no for sure. Yeah, the way that the Commanders are playing, man, they like to be honest with you. Again, this might be just recency bias, picking the team that's hot, but I feel like the Commanders, man, they could be competitive with just about anybody in the league. Especially the way that teams are kind of wafting. Even the undefeated teams are not perfect. Chiefs have looked. I think the last time they looked amazing was in Week 1, and even then it was a last second. They almost lost by a single toe, and none of their wins since then have been ultra convincing. Obviously, we saw Minnesota barely, almost gave up one of the biggest leads in NFL history. So, and it'll be 1st and 10 here after the penalty on Detroit. 14 seconds left. Geno in the shotgun tries to get it to the slot receiver, running a slant, and it's going to be fall incomplete. Yeah, the Commanders. If yeah, man, they just have like once again. I think I talked about this before. That team does not have any superstars in terms of name power, but they just seem to be playing so well, not only with each other but within the scheme that they are presented with. So, and the ball is snapped, and holy cow, did that play get blown dead? It did. Oh, that was going to be a bad one if that. Ooh, is that right? Only one punt in their last 3 games. Holy Nikes! Like once again, man, that's like some Madden type numbers right there. Only 1 sack in 3 games. But yeah, I Seastrom, I agree with you, man. I'd be taking the Commanders as well. That's no doubt. And 3 receiver set. Geno is actually going to scramble, and he's going to maximize the yardage there, stop the clock by going out of bounds with 5 seconds there. Just trying to give his kicker an opportunity here. Where is the ball? The ball is going to be at about the 49-yard line, I believe. So it'll be first and 10, 5 seconds. And a great job to get as much yardage as they can. Throws it to DK to the right. And the ball is going to be spotted at the 44. So there's going to be a 61-yard attempt for Jason Myers, which matches his career long. Kick is up, and it is going to sail to the left. It's going to be returned by Detroit here, and he's going to be brought down. So Seattle's field goal attempt, unfortunately, not long enough and not accurate enough to put up some points here. And Seattle, after trying to bring the returner down, they got his face mask, so there's going to be a penalty on Seattle here of a face mask. So we might get actually one more offensive snap for Detroit here. And apparently it's going to be declined, so we're going to go to halftime here. Detroit was like, "No, we're good." All right. What'd you guys think of the first half here? I mean, Seattle was doing they're doing some decent things on offense here. They're kind of moving the ball a little bit. It's just the penalties are really kind of getting to them a little bit here. And defensively, they've been able to get to Goff a couple times. I think they've brought him down for 2 sacks here in this game so far. Might be the case, man. They're just their brand of football, especially on offense. They're just so consistent. That offensive line is just so physical. especially in the run game. Detroit just does a great job of controlling the clock as well as just controlling the tempo of the game. Yeah, so heading into this game was I always thought was a funny little stat. So Detroit heading into this game has 8 sacks, 6.5 of those are coming from Hutch. So 8 sacks, but 6.5 of them are coming from one player. That just tells you how dominant that dude has been and how he's just been able to wreck some offensive game plans. All right, let's look at the score here for the other game here on Monday night. And what's your guys' opinion on two Monday night games? I don't particularly mind it. I just wish that they wouldn't have them on at the same time. I wish they would kind of do, you know, like a late afternoon game and then do another game after that game ends. I mean, he's been efficient. He hasn't really thrown the ball too deep here, but I mean, can't argue with that, man. It's been perfect. Oh, that, yeah, that sounds about right. Man, Detroit and Miami, man, those bats are hitting, man. 9-6. Man, they're getting some runners on base. Couple home runs. Let's go. Oh, I just saw a highlight of Willis's interception. That was god awful. How do you not see a 320-pound defensive lineman? So 9 of 6, man. Yeah, I think we might be watching the better of the two games here. Hopefully, Seattle can kind of get some stuff going here in the second half. Make this game a little bit tighter. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean it does kind of save you from having to watch a really boring and bad game. But once again, I think them being at the same time is just yeah, it just I don't know. To me, I feel like you're kind of basically cutting your audience in half potentially. But that's just me. Titans just scored here. Oh man, I would. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Miami's gonna do without Tua, man. They did not have a plan for that dude not being here. No, what happened, dude? What happened to the White Sox? Yeah, that is true. Yeah, if we're talking about the backup roles here, man, yeah, the Packers did not have a game plan until they traded for Malik Willis there. Phew. 41 and 121. Jesus. Holy cow. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Definitely doesn't take away from the game plan that LaFleur put in and even the work that Malik did, but yeah, they did get kinda lucky there. I don't know. It actually would have been interesting to see Malik going up against Minnesota. It would have been interesting, but I'm glad that Jordan Love came back. I don't really care that he ended up throwing, 3 picks, losing the game, but, some of those picks were not on him in my opinion. Um, but either way, it would have been really, really interesting to see Malik kinda go up against, Minnesota. Do that. I don't think I've ever seen a team that had that many. Oh, if you're saying it's the worst, then yeah. But man, holy cow, dude! Like, I feel like in baseball, you can accidentally just win like 35 games just on accident. I think it's almost illegal that you can't you lose that much. Holy cow, man! That's gotta be tough for that fan base, man. That's gotta suck. Like even in the NFL, the worst you can do is lose 17 games. Losing 121 games in a season has to be. Whew. I mean, after a while, you're like, I'll check in on them at the end of the month. I'm not gonna be keeping up on the scores here for a while. 121 losses. Holy cow, man! What were these guys making business decisions since the beginning of the season? What was going on here? Unfortunately, I'm not a huge baseball guy. Not really. Like I'm a Brewers fan. I lived in Milwaukee for a couple of years, and that was always one of those of any of the sports. It's always so much cheaper to go to baseball games, so I went to a lot of those, and those were always fun. But it's just the amount of games that are in it is just so hard to kind of keep track of unless you're just really committed to it. And baseball, it's like this if you're big into stats, baseball is the sport to go with. If you're big on analytics, things like that, I feel like that's the game. That's the kind of game that you want because those do correlate very well, and it's kind of been proven that the those analytics do help out, especially the teams that are in smaller markets, like the Brewers. Those things are huge for them. So it's like a very nerdy game, if that makes any sense. So it's heck yeah, heck yeah, let's go Crew, man. Hopefully they can get that playoff monkey off their back, man. They've had some good teams over the last like 15 years, but it's just once they get to the playoffs, man, they just can't get it, past that first or second series. Yeah, the Tigers, man, they were solid for a while there. I remember anytime I actually went to a couple Brewer games against the Tigers because I remember the Tigers at the time were doing really well. And dude, they just kept on smacking the Brewers, man, every time. I think I went to 3 games over the last couple of those years that I lived in Milwaukee, and I think they were all losses for Milwaukee. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. No, no, for sure. Plus, the way that their drafts work, you can just tell there's it's not like really any sport outside of, maybe hockey, but even then, like, when these kids get drafted, they're so young that they're usually in the lower leagues for years. Like even some of the best prospects in the world, they don't get drafted and then get put into the major leagues really at all. I can't even think of a player that I remember that was like drafted, very young and then gets put into the major leagues right away. I feel like that just does not happen in the MLB. Usually it takes at least 3, 4 years before you start seeing these guys come in. Yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely a lot of factors. And we are back here. First play for Seattle is a run up the right for Walker. It's going to be a nice gain, about 5 on the play. No, and for sure, I believe that there's definitely some guys on the team. Again, this is coming from a perspective of I've been around some teams, whether it be college or even semi-pro, where you can tell that they're like, I'm going to make a business decision. I'm not going to try to get hurt. Things like that. I think it's small stuff. I don't think it's intentional, like the Pete Rose things where they're betting and intentionally just not trying to play well. I don't think it's that. I think it's more of like, oh, in this situation, do I want to put my head into this tackle and potentially get, jacked up if we're losing, already having a bad season? And like most of these guys, they're competitors, man. Whether they're whether they're struggling or not, they want to put good tape on there. Quick pass to the outside to Smith and Jigba, and he's going to be about a half a yard short of the first on third down. It'll be fourth and inches here. It's going to be very interesting. Do they go for it? And it's going to be 4th and 1. Seattle's offense is on the field here. And it's going to be a QB sneak, and Geno is going to get it by about 2 yards. Only sort of. Only sort of. No, I would say for the most part, most guys, especially if they've been doing it long enough, they want to be able to play well, no matter how bad their team is. But I guarantee you, it's always just how it is. Human beings are going to be imperfect. There's always going to be maybe a small group of guys, and that's not every team, but there might be a small group of guys that just are like, the season's over. We only got like one more or two more games, and then they're out. Typically, those players also are probably not going to be on the team for very long anyway. That's the way they look at it. So, and as a person that's been around some teams, like anytime those guys start doing that, they tend to, like, the team leaders tend to kind of point them out and call them on it privately sometimes. And it's going to be a throw over the middle of the DK, and it's going to fall incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 8. Detroit's defense, man, their secondary, they are being aggressive right now. Oh, I agree with that for sure. No, for sure, for sure. Yeah, anytime, like you've seen it, you've seen bad coaches, you've seen bad GMs just destroy a team that might have had potential, like Josh McDaniels with the Broncos, and then again with the Raiders. Like both of them had potential franchise quarterbacks. Jay Cutler, as a Packer fan, I'm so happy that they traded him to the Bears. But he was looking good in with the Broncos. He was playing really well. He had you know, Brandon Marshall, that defense was starting to get good. And then McDaniels and that GM just came in there and just gutted that entire team. And then basically did the same thing as well with the Raiders. Got rid of their wideouts, got rid of their quarterback, and then yeah, 1st and 10. It's gonna be a screen to Kenneth Walker, who's gonna bounce around to the outside, and it's gonna maximize the amount of yardage. It's a nice gain of about 6 on the play. And then I'm trying to think of another GM that just really did a terrible job. The last GM with Minnesota, man, they they were really competitive in the early 2010s after Brett Favre, but then it's just bad draft after bad draft, trading up, trading away, middle round picks, and when you miss on some early picks, and then you're also trading away your mid round picks for basically nothing, it just you're just gonna deplete your team. Sometimes you just need guys that are okay. They don't need to be great, they just need to be okay. That just kinda fills out the roster with more talent. Yeah. Yeah, Detroit was an example of that, especially in the early 2000s, just god awful GMing. Geno gets hit as he throws, and the ball is gonna be batted down, and they're gonna call pass interference, and ooh, Carlton Davis is just livid right now. And he is getting in the face of the referee. He better be careful, man. He might be ejected because he definitely made a little bit of contact with the ref. Let's see if there was actually pass interference here. Yeah, they're gonna call that, man. And don't get me wrong, these refs have not been the most consistent because earlier in the game they were letting him play a little bit, so I can see why he's frustrated. But I mean, he had his arm wrapped around DK's upper shoulder there, and it's going to be a pass to the tight end in the flat, and it's a touchdown for Seattle. And with 9:46 left in the third quarter, Seattle gets on the board. again after the big pass interference call on Davis, and it's going to be a one possession game here. Yeah, the refs being the refs here. That's actually kind of why I put the when I put I don't know if you guys saw the poll that I put out just like an hour before the game here. Who do you have winning this game? Is it going to be Seattle? Is it going to be the Lions or the refs? Because I feel like I actually looked up this crew before, and they're not as bad as some of the crews that are out there. But this crew of refs does they like to throw flags in certain situations. Let's just say that. Let's just say if the game is starting to get a little boring potentially or blowout-ish, they're gonna start throwing some extra flags more than usual. All right. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna pay for the D here, so that way Seattle can get a stop. So I'll be right back. All right, we are back here just in time for the kickoff, and it's gonna be down in the end zone. Detroit's gonna start at the 30. There we go, man. Nine times out of 10, it seems like the refs always win. And it's going to be a fake handoff under center. Goff dumps it down to his running back. That is going to be David Montgomery, who breaks two tackles, breaks another. He's going across the field. He is down to the 40, 35, and he's going to be about at the 30-yard line of Seattle. Holy cow, man. That play looked like it was only going to go for about a yard. He broke a tackle. Then another guy tried to bring him down by just hitting him as hard as he could instead of wrapping him up. Oh my. Yeah, he's the corner just literally ran into Montgomery, and Montgomery barely flinched while the corner just slammed to the turf. And after that, just broke another tackle, turned up across the field, and then made it all the way to the 30. Holy cow. Wow. It's gonna be a handoff to Montgomery again. He's only gonna get back to the line of scrimmage there, probably a little tired after sprinting about 45 yards. Wow. I don't know if you ever saw that. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen Man of Steel. And hold on here. 2nd and 10. Goff in the shotgun. Two receivers to his right. He's moving, trying to find a guy. He does. And he's gonna turn upfield and it's gonna be is that Reynolds? No, that's the former Bronco, Patrick. Holy cow, man. So Patrick running a nice little shallow cross from the right to the left of the field. And then he's gonna bring it in all the way inside the freaking 10-yard line. Huge gain for the Lions, man. They're picking up big chunks on this drive. And the ball is gonna be 1st and goal at the 7 here. Detroit is just marching down the field here. Just massive chunks of yards. St. Brown in motion. They toss it to Montgomery, who is not going to be able to get to the edge here. It's going to be a no gain on the play. But that scene in in the Man of Steel with Henry Cavill, when like the guy at the bar is like trying to fight him, and he pushes him, and Henry Cavill does not move while the guy almost falls backwards. That's basically what happened with Montgomery in that corner. The corner was like running basically like a missile at Montgomery and just hit him, and Montgomery did not move at all. That was wild. And it's gonna be a fake handoff. It's gonna be a toss to St. Brown, and he's gonna throw it to Goff, who catches the ball in the end zone, and that is a Detroit touchdown. Jared Goff with the receiving touchdown from St. Brown. Wow. Holy cow. There we go. You're like, I've seen it, man. I've seen it. I know what you're talking about. Fair enough. Wow, what a play. And the extra point is, that's gonna be close, and they're saying it's good. Detroit takes a 14-point lead with 6:57 left in the third quarter here. Yeah, Goff just tossed it to St. Brown, who was basically running an end around to the right. Everybody shifted over, and he just tossed it to Goff to the left side of the field, man. That was a great play. Who do you have on your fantasy, my friend? I know you said you have DK, right? Yeah, unfortunately, I did not do fantasy this year. It would have been a crazy year to do it. Oh, St. Brown. Hey, man, you got a passing touchdown out of him. Oh, there we go. And who do you go through for college fantasy? Is it ESPN or Yahoo Sports or something like that? Oh, right on. Okay. Right on. Right on. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out next year, man. Yeah, I remember a couple years ago, might have been like 10 years ago at this point. Me and a couple buddies were trying to do some fantasy football in college, man. And I mean, so many teams, so many players as well. And it was like, oh man, how are we gonna do this? I don't think there was like a not a dedicated app to do it. You kind of had to do it like manually, and it just seemed a lot more work. And we're like, never mind. I'm like, we're good, we're good. We'll keep it to the NFL. All right, Seattle gets the ball at the 20 here. Handed off to Kenneth Walker, who breaks through. He is down to the 45, and he is at midfield here before he is bounced out of bounds. A massive 30-yard run for Kenneth Walker to the right side. Nice little toss. And the safety crashed down way too early, took a bad angle. Walker was able to bounce it to the outside, and they're going to spot the ball at the 48, actually. And Geno looks like there's a broken play here. So Geno's just going to scramble up the middle here for about 2 yards. Oh, okay. You only do the power five. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Makes things a lot easier, actually. What, man? You don't want to pick up the tight end for the, trying to think of a small school here, Akron Zips, you know? Akron, Ohio. And it's going to be 2nd and 8. Pressure. And Geno just throws it away. And Hutchinson nearly got to Geno there for his first sack of the day. Great little spin move on the tackle and forcing Geno just to basically just dirt that ball. It'll be 3rd and 8, 5:46 left in the third quarter. The ball is at the 50-yard line. Snap, shotgun, pressure. Geno gets away, throws it down the field, finds a man. It's going to be Smith and Jigba, and it'll be a first down for Seattle. It should be inside the 40 there. Great job by Geno, man. I thought he was going to get sacked here. Detroit sent a safety on the blitz, had Geno in his hands, but Geno was just able to duck and get out of there, find a man downfield for a big first down. Ball at the 39, 3 receivers to the left. Geno hands it to Kenneth, who gets brought down and he stumbles backwards and he's going to lose some yardage here depending on if they gave him any forward momentum there. Oh yeah. No, for sure. All right. 2nd and 16, ball at the 45. Geno in the pocket, finds his man again. He's got blockers. He is down to the 15-yard line, and that is Tyler Lockett with a massive, massive gain of about 30 yards on the play. Just a great job by Geno climbing the pocket, finding Lockett in the middle of the field here. DK was blocking for him downfield, and it'll be down at the 16 of Detroit. All right, we got Seattle kind of driving down. Geno pressure throws it out the back of the end zone. There's going to be a flag on the play here. Absolutely, man. Heck yeah. Yeah, that's those star players on those small schools, man, and obviously their competition is not going to be huge. You know, you get that with was it Ball State? Usually always has to have usually has like a really good defensive lineman who like racks up like 12 sacks every year, but still only gets drafted like in the 7th round if he does. And fakes the handoff, finds a man, and that's going to be Jake Bobo. And he is going to fall down just short of the goal line, but it should be enough for a first down. It's going to be first and goal at about the 1 for Seattle. Holy cow. Great job by Jake Bobo, man. He just had to adjust to that ball. It was thrown a little bit behind him, but did a great job of high pointing the ball, kind of twisting that body and getting it Seattle in the eye. They hand it off to Walker, who is going to be in the end zone. Or one ref is saying yes, another saying he's short, and they are calling it a touchdown here for Kenneth Walker. Let's see here. Free play. Is his knee up? It's close. I think he got it. I don't see a knee down, and the ball definitely crosses. So Seattle goes 80 yards with 8 plays, 3:54 taken off the clock. Yeah, man. Like small school quarterbacks, you see that all the time as well. Like, wasn't Malik Willis, man? He was out of Liberty. That's a relatively small college, and he was just putting up some massive numbers, man. I always hope those guys, when they get drafted, or if they, you know, undrafted free agents, I always feel I want them to succeed more than anybody else. It's just like it's just a great story. Third division guys, second division guys, things like that. And Seattle's going to go for a 2-point conversion here. They get it to DK, but is he going to be able to keep both feet in bounds? They're saying no, but there is a flag on the field. And it's going to be pass interference on Detroit here. So it looks like Seattle's going to get another chance at this 2-point conversion. And unfortunately, Carlton Davis with another PI penalty here. So there'll be another 2-point attempt. Ball at the 1. Geno in the shotgun tries to get it to Jake Bobo, who is not on the same page as his quarterback. And Carlton Davis, man, he is getting in the face of the referee and this time they did not even throw a flag. And he's got his hands all up in that ref. Yeah, Davis is having a he's having a rough night, and he is not staying quiet about it, man. He is getting in the face of these referees. I'm just surprised they haven't thrown a flag yet, man. But yeah, man, the small school guys, man, they know. They know that they're not guaranteed anything. They were never really highly recruited out of college, so when they get on an NFL team, man, they are there to take names, man. They do not mess around because they know that I'm not a Division One guy, or if I was barely, not a huge school. So they know that they don't have as many chances. They might be the only one, and they're gonna say, "Hey, man, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna do it my way." And trust me, teams need guys like that, man. Those like Mike Daniels, Green Bay Packer defensive lineman. Those guys that just like are almost too intense about football, but man, those guys, every locker room needs a couple of those guys. It just keeps everybody in check. You know, when things are kind of going, you can get kind of lost in the glitz and glamour of the game, and those guys kind of ground everybody. They're like, "Hey, let's fucking sorry, let's focus on football." Okay, see, I'm already getting amped up by these guys, but hey, let's keep it keep it grounded and let's focus on our football, man. All the other stuff, it's not important. Yeah, man. That dude was that dude was awesome. He was great, man. That defensive line was always just solid when he was there. And a couple of years, man, after he left, that defensive line was just was not the same. It was very, very quiet, very just didn't make a whole lot of plays. But yeah, man, Mike Daniels, great dude. Off the field, seems like a great guy. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that kind of like a fundraiser slash interview that Grassi did with Mike Daniels a couple weeks ago. That was a really good one. Oh, does he have a comic book shop in Green Bay? Oh man, next time I go up to Green Bay, I gotta head there, man. Oh, and they're reviewing. Well, they're not reviewing. They're looking back on the first 2 point conversion attempt that Seattle made, and they called it incomplete, but it should have been 2 points right there. DK was able to get his knee and his foot down, and Seattle sends a blitz, and it is not going to be picked up. And Jamison Williams is going to high step his way to the end zone. Dude, that dude was high stepping basically from the 30-yard line, and nobody caught him. One play, 70 yards. Detroit is just having themselves a night, man. Holy cow. Yeah, man. Detroit was trying to send a blitz. Sorry, not Detroit. Seattle was trying to send a blitz, and Detroit made them pay for it, man. Oh, man. Next time I go to Green Bay, I really got to go to that comic book shop. My plan for next year is to go to the draft, at least one day, um, and just kind of hang out there. Definitely record some stuff. It may not be for the channel. It might be. It's going to depend on how this channel, kind of what we can do with this channel over the next couple months. But either way, I'm excited that the draft is heading up to Green Bay. That's always one of my favorite things. And I would say this: I didn't grow up with comic books, but I have a couple now here at this point. Um, it's mostly I like the old 70s and 80s art style. That's what really kind of gets me going. That's always a fun thing. But yeah, my first comic book was that I ever owned was The Death of Superman, and I had the whole thing from beginning to end, and it just like was just I read that thing. I remember the first time I got it. I'm pretty sure I read that thing about 4 times that same day. Right now, I think man, the last time I read a comic book was like probably a couple of weeks ago. But I was reading what was it? The Punisher, a Punisher comic book. Just kind of leading up. He's one of my favorite characters. I was a big one of my favorite movies, comic book movies, was the Thomas Jane Punisher. It's not an amazing movie, but it was always really fun. I liked the way he portrayed him, and it just seemed like a very it was very different from the comic book movies at the time with, like, Daredevil, things like that. So, yeah, Thomas Jane was, he's my Punisher. I do like the new Punisher. I like what he that whole show. It's very intense, and I think it does a great job of kinda portraying what some of the more intense comic books do. Obviously made for TV, obviously safe for TV. There's some really crazy stuff in some Punisher comic books, but for the most part, I do like the way that they've portrayed that character over the last couple of years. What about you, my friend? Are you a comic book guy? Are you reading anything at the time? So with 2:52 left in the third quarter here, Detroit has a commanding 15-point lead over Seattle. Jared Goff, 15 of 15 for 225 and a touchdown. He also has a receiving touchdown tonight as well. Kick is up and it goes out the back of the end zone. Oh heck yeah, man. The X-Men series, man, it's always I remember watching the movies growing up, and then that kinda got me interested, so I started reading some of those, and the comic books, I mean, the movies don't do it justice, man. Even though there's some good ones for sure, but the comic books to me are, especially when it comes to X-Men, they're just far and above what movies have been able to do right now. And Geno has to get it out quickly. Hutchinson is coming after him. Gets it out to Charbonnet, who was able to get the most out of that yardage. Gain of about 6 maybe on the play. Second and 3. Gets the ball out quickly to lock it, and it's going to be a first down for Seattle here. Garth Ennis. Okay, man, I'm going to have to write that down actually. Heck yeah. Thanks for the recommendation. And it's going to be an empty set for Geno here. First and 10, ball at the 42-yard line. And it looks like he's bringing Charbonnet into the backfield. Takes the snap, hands it off to Kenneth Walker, actually. And Walker is just running through Lions right now, breaking tackles left and right. And he is going to be down not until they get to the 35 of Detroit. Heck of a run. Kenneth Walker just kind of looping in behind Geno, breaking 2 tackles, breaking a third, and just muscling his way all the way down to the 35. Oh, heck yeah, there you go. That's gonna be an interesting one right there. I don't think they could be any more polar opposites in terms of their characters. So that should be a fun one to read. I'm gonna check that one out too. I like what Seattle's doing here, man. They are not going away. Seems like as the game goes on, they're getting a little bit better and better on offense here. Just that defense really needs to kind of clamp down a little bit on what Detroit's doing. Like I get it, you had to send a blitz somehow. You're trying to get a turnover, trying to get something going, but that coverage on the back end was not good by the linebackers. Oh yeah, Williams, dude. No, man, dude, he is just once he gets going, man, he is just so tough to bring down. I have yet to see anybody really be able to track him down from behind. The guy is just so darn quick. It'll be first and 10, empty set for Seattle, ball at the 35. Geno drops back, has a lot of pressure in his face. He's going to be taken down, and it looks like he might have fumbled the ball depending on if his knee was down. And they're saying he's down for the sack there. Just a great job by the defensive ends there. Hutch just able to pinch the back of that pocket there, forcing Geno to kind of come right up the field. And he's going to get it off to one of his running backs here, who is going to go all the way down to the 20 for a big Seattle first down. Nice little, kind of like a little bit of an inside screen for the running back. Yeah, dude. And from what I remember, Williams is for sure he was an Alabama guy. He was just so fast, man. So fast, lanky dude as well. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, just the way he plays, it's very SEC. Roll Tide, man. Oh boy. I mean, I'm a Badger fan, so unfortunately, Alabama came to Wisconsin here, and they just destroyed the Badgers. It was not a good time. It's a rough game. Oh yeah, for sure. And I think the NIL has affected that a little bit more because you would usually see some like old Miss guys kind of get in there a little bit. Um, but yeah, it seems like Alabama and Ohio State at this point they're just buying up some of the best wide receiver talents. Yeah, Old Miss. I'm trying to think of who else was like big with some wide receivers. USC um, kind of had some. They always have a couple of first rounders throughout the years, but um, up until recently, and most of them were not very good. They would kind of flame out of the league from the West Coast. And Geno has to get that ball out quickly, and it's going to glance off his receiver's hands for an incomplete. And that was to Kenneth Walker, the running back, wasn't able to haul that one in. Yeah, no, I feel like the last good quarterback that they had was Russ, and that was only for 1 year. Kenneth Walker weaving his way, starts out to the right, goes to the left, and he is going to hit that pylon, and that is a touchdown for Seattle with 14:48 left in the game here in the fourth quarter. Just a nice toss to the left, turns up, reverses field, and then just outraces everybody to that pylon on the right side of the field. Holy cow. This drive, 7 plays, 70 yards, 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes taken off the clock. Oh, yeah, LSU. That's another team, too. Yeah, Jamar Chase. Who else was Jefferson came out of that school as well. I think they came out of uh, out of college back to back, actually. So yeah, LSU is another big producer there of some wideouts, corners, some big corners coming out of that school as well. Yeah, I feel like Bama. I feel like they consistently produce a lot of safeties, a lot of corners. I think we're actually seeing a couple of them here with Detroit. I think Terrion Arnold was out of Alabama. This is his rookie year. Brian Branch, I think he was also an Alabama guy as well. I think he's not playing tonight. I think he's still recovering from that concussion from last week. Oh yeah, Malik Neighbors as well. Holy cow! And Seastrom, are you still in there, buddy? Hope you're doing okay. And then yeah, Malik Neighbors, man. Yeah, it seems like the wideouts, especially recently, man, they have really been able to hit the ground running. All right. The kick went out of the back of the end zone here. It'll be 1st and 10 for Detroit at the 30 here. Jared Goff has been literally perfect, 15 of 15 so far tonight. And Jameer Gibbs gets the handoff, and he's going to go up the middle for a gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. Georgia, they've produced, but I feel like most of Georgia's was that defense there. I feel like most of their linebackers, corners, and defensive linemen were kind of drafted over the last couple of years. Not a whole lot of their offense was picked up, I feel like. And Williams in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Montgomery up the middle. It's going to be a minimal gain there, maybe a yard or two. And with under 2 minutes left, it looks like Tennessee is going to get their first win of the season. They are leading Miami 24-12 with the clock rolling under 1 minute here. It'll be 3rd and 1, tight end in motion for Detroit. They toss it to David Montgomery, who's going to get tripped up in the backfield, a loss of about 2 or 3. Great defensive sequence here for Seattle. There we go, man. Getting off the field, making some plays, and forcing Detroit to get the ball back. It is an 8-point game, so despite how dominant Detroit has been, Seattle has just been kind of quietly driving down the field on offense and putting up points, man. It is a one possession game. And there's still 12:49 left in this game. Yeah, it took very little time off the clock. Very little. And Seattle is kind of doing what they've done the last 3 games, man. It has not been pretty. Any other wins really, but they've always just kind of stuck around there. Yeah, let's look at some stuff here for that Miami game now that it's over. Oh, and Tennessee scoring one more time before this game is over. There's 24 seconds left, and they just got done with a nice touchdown there. The extra point was good, so Tennessee looks like they're going to come away with a 31-12 victory over the Miami Dolphins. They're going to get their first win of the season. It'll be 1-3, and unfortunately for the Miami Dolphins, they're going to drop to 1-2 on the year. Yeah, man. And the Titans did not seem to have to throw the ball a whole lot in this game. It was just 12 of 21. Barely threw for 100 yards in this game. Threw one interception, no touchdowns. It seemed like the running game was the big factor here. Tony Pollard leading the team with 88 yards and a touchdown. All right, back to the game here with Seattle and Detroit. 1st and 10 at the 21. Quick ball out to Charbonnet, who's going to get about 2 yards on the play. And the clock is rolling at 12:20, 12:19, 12:18, 12:17, 12:16, 12:15 if you want to line it up. And it's a fake handoff to Charbonnet. Gets the tight end in the flats, keeps his feet in bounds, tries to hurdle a player. And Barner, the tight end, is going to have a big first down for Seattle here. Ball is going to be at the 42, first and 10 for Seattle in the shotgun. Two receivers to the left. They hand it off to Charbonnet, who is going to muscle his way all the way down, breaking a few tackles. It's going to be a gain of about 12. And he is going to be out across the 50-yard line. They are in Detroit territory. The Seahawks are coming, man. First and 10, ball at the 46. Two receivers to the left. Geno in shotgun. Scanning the field, finds a man, Smith and Jigba, underneath the coverage, and he is going to be out across the 40, down at the 38 of Detroit. This Detroit defense looks exhausted right now, man. They are not popping up. When they get on the ground, they are not popping up quickly. Got their hands on their hips. Looks like they're breathing hard, man. They are exhausted right now. Seattle has done a great job in this second half, man. They've been just consistently driving down the field on a little bit longer drives. Seastrom, what's going on, brother? Good to see you back. Let's go Lions. Oh, man. And they toss it to Charbonnet, who breaks a tackle, and he's going to get a big first down. There is a late flag thrown. It's going to be a holding call on DK Metcalf. That's going to wipe away a huge, huge first down conversion here. And it was definitely holding here. Fortunately, DK lost his leverage on the block and got a handful of the pads there. It'll be 5 receiver set. Geno obviously in the shotgun here. Gonna throw it out to Charbonnet, who breaks a tackle, gets tripped up, unfortunately, but it'll be a good gain. He's gonna be close to the 40-yard line, so it should be about third and 3 here. Yeah, man. Penalties, man. Penalties can just kill a drive, man. They kill momentum. It's the last thing you want to do is keep the game in the hands of the referees, especially when it's this close. All right, 2 receivers to the right. Geno in motion. Detroit is showing some pressure here. Gets the ball out quickly, and it's going to be, is that Carlton Davis? No, that is Robertson with very tight coverage on Lockett here. Lockett faking as if he was going to go on on into the flat here. Cut to the inside, and Robertson just doing a great job putting his hand in the middle and knocking that ball down. All right. 3 receivers to the right in the bunch formation. Geno rolling out, has a man. It's going to be Smith and Jigba. It's going to be a huge first down conversion, but there is a flag on the field. Geno kind of hesitated a little bit on that throw. I don't know if that might have been what it was, because I feel like that play is designed for that ball to get out real quick, and there might have been a holding. It's going to be pass interference against Seattle. Wow. And that's going to wipe away another first down conversion for Seattle here. Yep, Lockett making contact. before that ball was in the air, and that's going to wipe away a huge one and move him back 10 yards. And Geno Smith is trying to get into the face of the referees here. He is hot right now. Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest with you, Lockett, I don't think he needed to do that, really. I don't think he needed to really make contact. I think he just needed to get in the way there because Geno should have thrown that ball a little bit earlier because he was open. And there's going to be another penalty on Seattle's going to push him back even further. And the punt is away, and it's going to go into the end zone with 8:57 left. Detroit will get the ball at the 20 here. And oh boy, cameras on the referee. They're going to make another call here. What's going on? They're still showing 4th and 18. Oh, they forgot they forgot to move the ball back after the false start on the penalty on the punt. So they'll repunt. This will be from the 46 of Seattle. And similar result here. It'll be out the back of the end zone. Like I said, man, referees might win this one. Yeah, that's just unfortunate, man. It's both of those penalties. I think, to be honest with you, wouldn't have affected the play a whole lot. I think that hold against DK. I mean, it was a hold for sure, but Alonzo was not going to be able to bring down Kenneth Walker. He was not going to. Oh no, I think it was Charbonnet, and Goff throws it deep to Jamison Williams, and he is wide open again. Oh no, sorry, that's Patrick. And Patrick, man, holy cow, getting in behind the wide receivers there, making a huge play, and they are nearly at midfield. Yeah, ball's gonna be spotted at the 49. That was a 29-yard catch and run for the Lions here. Goff under center, Lions in the eye. They hand it off to David Montgomery, who is going to get maybe 2 yards on the ball. And so far, Jared Goff, man, he is 16 of 16, has yet to throw an incomplete pass in this game. Goff under center, gets the handoff. It's Jahmyr Gibbs who withstands a tackle and is going to fall forward for the first down for Detroit here, man. Oh boy, I think we've seen this thing play out before, man. Detroit, they're just gonna put the ball and they're just gonna run it down the defense's throat here. First and 10, Jameson Williams in motion, fakes the handoff. They dump it down to the tight end in the screen. He has a lot of space. He's got blockers. Sam Laporta keeps on running, and he is finally taken down, but not until he gets to the 10-yard line of Seattle. Yeah, that run fake got him. Seattle was running downfield. Detroit knew that. They used using Seattle's over aggressiveness there. Just dumped it down to Laporta, who just made a nice catch and run. 1st and 10, empty set for Detroit. Goff takes the snap, has a man deep in the end zone, wide open Sam Laporta, but it's going to be way overthrown. And there's going to be a flag on the play here. 6:13 left to play. And it's going to be a pass interference on Detroit here. It's a huge play. That catch and run by Sam Laporta, man. And it'll be 1st and goal from the 20 after the penalty here on Detroit. Definitely a little bit of a makeup call for sure. I think they're trying to help out Seattle here. They're trying to make it a little bit of an interesting game. It's going to be a toss to Gibbs to the left, and he's going to get all the way down to about the 12 or 11-yard line there. So a nice gain of about 8 or 9. Man, dude, and that last Seattle drive, man, they were doing such a great job getting down the field. I felt like they had Detroit's defense kind of winded, but then back-to-back penalties just kind of killed that drive and took them out of field goal range too. It's going to be a handoff. St. Brown was in motion, and Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get inside the 10 at about the 8 or 7-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and goal for Detroit. No, absolutely. Definitely seems a little early to call a timeout, but I think if they're hoping if they can get a stop here, because I believe that they feel that Detroit's going to go for it on 4th down instead of just kicking the field goal. So they're hoping, hey, if we can get a turnover on downs, it'll still be a 1-possession game. Maybe that's what Seattle is thinking, or oh, if they score a touchdown here, we got to get 2 possessions out of the remaining 5.5 minutes. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a timeout used this early. So ball at the 8, snap, has a man. Ooh, it's going to be real close. It was a little overthrown. And they are saying it's a touchdown for Detroit here. I don't know how, but St. Brown was just left wide open in the end zone. See if he got both toes in bounds. He did. Wow. That was not an amazing throw by Goff, but St. Brown, man. That's why they pay him that much money, dude. He's been worth every penny for Detroit since he got here. Kick is up and it is good. And with 5:23 left in the game, Detroit takes back their 15-point lead. Yeah, that might have been what they were trying to do for sure, but apparently it did not work because they completely left St. Brown wide open. I don't think there was a Seattle Seahawk within probably about 7, 8 yards of him. Yeah, that was a fun play, man. I want to see the replay here. I'll probably do that here after the game's over, but just a great design to get arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL open. Yeah, that's and I'm granted Seattle has been able to move the ball relatively quickly on their scoring drives. They've been able to I think on their last 2 scoring drives, they've all been under 4 minutes. So, but that does not leave a whole lot of time to get the ball back. You got to stop Detroit, which they have yet to prove that they can do on a consistent basis here. I mean, 42 points tonight for the Seattle Seahawks. They've given up on defense. That's no matter how you cut it, man, that is not a good night. And Jared Goff, a guy who has thrown heading into this game, he had thrown ba, 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 4 interceptions. He threw 1 in week 1, threw 2 in week 2, and then threw 1 last week. He has yet to not only throw an interception in this game, he has yet to have an incomplete pass. So, and yeah, man, actually, even St. Brown is also perfect. So, between Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff, they are 19 of 19 for 277 and 3 touchdowns. And they've also run for 118 yards on just 25 carries, almost averaging 5 yards per carry, and they also have 3 rushing touchdowns. So Detroit, they have just done whatever they wanted tonight. And I mean, you got to give Seattle's offense some credit. They've made this game competitive, but their defense has not held up their end of the bargain. And the ball will be at the 30, empty set for Seattle. 5:23 on the clock. They got to get 2 possessions out of these last couple minutes, and that is not what you want. Geno Smith gets tackled. Looks like he might have fumbled the ball as well, but it is recovered by an offensive lineman. Second and 12. Clock is under 5 minutes here. Empty set. Geno gets the ball out quickly. The DK, who is going to be able to stiff arm a guy just enough to get a first down. Yeah, Seattle's going to get to the line real quick here. They do not have time to mess around. Once again, empty set. Geno looking, scanning, throwing it down the field. Has a man, and that's going to be to Tyler Lockett. Gain of about 14 on the play. Yeah, once again, unfortunately, I'm a little bit behind. Probably the live broadcast here. We're streaming on Hulu, so probably a little bit of a delay. And snap has the man trying to get it to Smith and Jigba, who cannot turn around for it. Would have been a huge play if he was able to turn around, get his body in position to catch that one. And 4 receiver set. Kenneth Walker in the backfield. Geno in shotgun. Ball at the 46. Quick pass to his tight end. And he's going to get the necessary yardage for a first down. Oh, yeah, for sure. No, they can't mess around, and they might have caught a break here. There might be a Detroit Lion down on the ground. Nope, never mind. I thought Joseph was hurt there for a second. So two receivers to the right. Quick blitz here. Gets the ball out quickly to Smith and Jigba, who cannot break the ankle tackle. And the clock is rolling under 304, 303, 302. Ooh, that could have been a huge play there if he would have broken that tackle because there's only one guy that might have gone to him. And Geno has to come out. There's a flag. He's rolling to his right. He throws it deep to, was that DK? And DK's like, how is that not pass interference, man? Come on. He was all over me. But there's an early flag, so we'll see what that is. And they're saying it's going to be on James Houston for offsides there. Yep. Jumped a little early. And honestly, that should have been probably pass interference there, especially the way that they have called it. I mean, Jesus, he was all over DK, man. So 2nd and 1 after the penalty there. All right, Sea Storm, you have a great one. Yes, I will be here on Thursday doing another live reaction, brother. So have a great one, man. Get some rest, and I'll catch you. I'll catch you on Thursday, man. Appreciate you dropping by. Thank you again. And it's gonna be a nice pass by Geno here. They'll get a first down. Clock is stopped at 2:40, so they really need to get this ball into the end zone before the 2-minute warning. And Geno scrambling, running. He's going to get a first down. He's going to be inside the 10, but there is a flag on the field. Usually in these situations, it's going to be a holding on the offensive line, most likely, but we'll see. All right. 4 receivers split. Kenneth Walker and Geno throws it over the middle, trying to get it to Lockett, but unfortunately it's going to be batted down. It'll be 2nd and goal, 2:28 left on the clock here. Yeah, something tells me these last 2.5 minutes are going to be are going to be a little bit. They're going to be a little long. Hopefully, they are entertaining. All right. 2nd and goal, ball at the 3-yard line. Shotgun. Geno takes the snap, has a man, and he is nearly intercepted by linebacker Elzano. Oh my God. How can I not pronounce this guy's name? Hold on. I gotta. Anzalone. There we go. I know I've heard his name plenty of times. Alex Anzalone. All right. Empty set. Geno rolling out to his right, trying to find somebody. Has some pressure. The pocket is. And it's going to be a jump ball. Try to get it to DK and could not. 2:16 left in this game. Oh, absolutely, man. They don't score here. It's not going to matter how many timeouts or 2 minute warnings they have. They got to get a score here. They got to score a touchdown. All right, fourth and goal here. I'm surprised they did not try to run it one time here. And ooh, early snap. I don't think this is going to look good. No, big miscommunication by the center here. Geno was not ready for that snap. It didn't even look like they were lined up correctly at all. And unfortunately, it's going to fall out the back of the end zone. And that is most likely going to be the end of this game here. And unfortunately, Tyler Lockett just did not get a chance. The center, yeah, there was that center was something was going wrong here. All right, 209. We're going to have the 2 minute warning here. Detroit has the ball at about the 4 yard line. They're going to obviously just run the ball here, get it to the 2 minute warning. Seattle looks like they're using their second timeout. Yeah, luckily Gino, at first he was looking to the sidelines, and just a couple seconds later he turned, and luckily he did because that snap was coming. Oh man. And fakes the handoff, and Detroit is actually throwing it, and Jared Goff is going to be brought down. Was that in the end zone, or did he get the ball out? And he did. He extended the ball out. And as of right now, they're saying he is taken down. And I mean, there is no room for error. There, the ball is literally like 2 inches, if that, away from the goal line. The referees are going to look at this though, because I believe the ball has to completely come out. All right, we are at the 2 minute warning commercial break here. Hopefully, in a couple seconds, we will be coming back to finish off this game. It could get a little interesting if they call a safety here. It'll still be a two possession game, but Seattle will get the ball back. So they would likely, if they can get a safety here, get 2 points, they can score quick enough, go for two, make it. It'll be 39-42. They would have to get an onside kick, obviously, and then try to get that into field goal range to even force overtime. Not likely, not very likely at all, but I guess technically it is possible. and they are saying that is a safety for Detroit. Sorry, for Seattle against Detroit, and Seattle will get 2 points here, and Detroit will have to punt it slash punt it kickoff to Seattle here, and we have ourselves a 13-point game. I kind of want to see if this is a scoreagami. If the score stays here, 29-42, is that going to be scoreagami? So unfortunately, it would not be scoreagami. The last time a game ended 29-42. Sorry, the first game was Cincinnati 42, Baltimore 29 back in November 27th, 2005. So this would not be scoreagami. Kick is off. Seattle obviously going to return this because they actually have to kick it from the 20. A huge return for Seattle. And unfortunately, there's also a flag if this holds up. Seattle's going to get the ball at about midfield. And unfortunately, it's going to be holding on Seattle. It's going to wipe away a massive, massive return. I mean, he did grab the jersey, but I mean, it's barely a hold. Got to be smarter than that, man. You got to make sure you can get your leverage. So Seattle will start at the 20 here. 2 receivers in the backfield, 3 receivers set. Maximizing the pressure. Geno has time, finds DK for a huge gain. It'll be a big first down. Gets out of bounds, stops the clock at 1:48. Seattle does have 1 timeout left in the game. DK with that catch is now over 100 yards on the night. 1st and 10, ball just past the 40-yard line. Seattle still has plenty distance to go for a touchdown here. They need one quick. Snap, shotgun, pressure. Geno rolling out to his right, making a run, and he's going to slide past the 50-yard line. They have to get up and going here. Clock is rolling. He stayed in bounds. Ball will be spotted at the 48. Empty set. Clock is now going to be under 120. Quick blitz here, and Geno just has to throw it away here. Barely able to get the ball away. And two running backs in the backfield here. Geno needing to climb the pocket, and the pocket was collapsing here, and it'll be incomplete, but there is a late flag thrown, and by the reaction, it looks like it's going to be on Detroit here. Geno trying to get the ball out to Jake Bobo here. First and 10 after the penalty here on Detroit. Ball at the 35. Geno needing to climb the pocket, gets the ball out and trying to get it to Tyler Lockett, who cannot get his hands up, but there will be a flag on the play. Geno is on the ground. And it's going to be most likely rough in the passer. Ooh, jeez. Geno definitely took a shot on that one. That's going to be another penalty on Detroit. They have 12 tonight for over 100 yards. That'll get Seattle to the 20-yard line, first and 10. They still have a minute 6 left in this game, and they do have a timeout as well. Oh boy, I knew these last couple minutes were going to linger. It's already been ever since it was 2:30. It's already been there's 2:30 left on the clock. There's been 20 almost 25 minutes of real time that has rolled away. And Detroit sending the pressure, and it is going to be nearly intercepted potentially, or is that did he hold on to it? And he did. Holy cow, that is going to be a huge game-ending interception. Wow. Geno really just threw that bad boy up there, man, in triple coverage. Sorry, double coverage there. And just an amazing job by was that number 24, 34? Oh, that ball was moving. That ball was moving. This game may not be over here. That was potential interception was by Joseph, number 31. Oh no, that ball is definitely moving. No, I don't think this game's over, guys. No, that movement is very unnatural. That ball is definitely out. It is not a catch. All right, they are saying that interception is good. I'm surprised, but I think they're I think everybody just wants to go home apparently. So Detroit takes a knee here. They're gonna have to knee it one more time before this game ends. But wow, what a game! It was a it was getting interesting here in the second half, but Detroit just had enough offensively to put this game away. And Seattle just too many mistakes, penalties kind of killed them. on that second to last drive and that big interception there at the end, finishing this one up. Sean Paul, thank you, man. Thank you for hanging out this entire night. I appreciate you, brother. And hopefully, I will see you on Thursday or sometime next week here for some more football. But yeah, this was a fun one. I think of the two games that were happening, this was the game that I'm glad I was streaming. Definitely some big plays offensively, especially for Detroit. Just some explosive plays, and came away with a huge interception in the end zone to end any hope Seattle had. So, so if you guys watch this even a little bit or all the way through, like some of you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Please leave a like on this video. It does help me out. Lets me know that you want more of this content. It helps the algorithm kind of get these videos into more eyes, which hopefully will kind of help me in the long run here, and I'll be able to produce more things, some more short stuff, some more editing videos, other reactions. Otherwise, other than just long play by play things. So once again, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You have a wonderful night, everybody. Detroit moving to 2-2, I think now. No, sorry, 3-1, and Seattle getting their first loss here, man, dropping to 3-1. So looks like it's Minnesota with 4-0 record, Detroit, Green Bay, and then in the rear, Chicago in the NFC North. So it's going to be interesting. I don't think anything is settled in the NFC North at this point. I think it's a 3-team race, and it's going to be fun, man. All the quarterbacks are healthy. They're playing well, and it's going to be interesting to see. So, once again, thank you guys for hanging out over 3 hours doing this. So, if you were here for most of it, once again, I appreciate you. You have a wonderful night, guys.